Good afternoon, folks. This is Mac's Tropical Weather Blog update for your experimental ATWO. Now, your audio tropical weather outlook is an experimental product. So, basically that means that this product will not be updated constantly and we'll be evaluating in our consumer survey that is out that I'll explain about towards the end of this video, this audio, excuse me. Um, we'll be monitoring it and see if you guys like the service, and if you like it, we'll most likely continue it in the future. But let's start off with our actual part of the audio podcast here, with talking about the tropics, Atlantic Basin. Let's start off with the Atlantic right now. The Atlantic is pretty quiet, but that may or may not change over the next 5 days because there is an area that looks suspicious at the moment. It has a lot of convection. I don't know if about a center of circulation. Doesn't appear to be that at the moment. It has a lot of convection, a reasonable amount of convection. And an anticyclone is currently over it, so that may help actual tropical genesis in the future, because that anticyclone will make shear less harmful to any system. In particular, we're talking about this system that is almost located near your 10 north and 45 west. We're designating that MTWB Invest 05L. 05L is forecasted by MTWB to continue moving west and maybe northwestward, impacting the most northern tip of South America. Then it will be making the west-northwest track and into the Hispaniola in the future. Remember, this forecast is very far out and may or may not happen, so take this with a grain of salt. And especially, this is not an official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Remember that. But thusly, we're going to continue now. It has a lot of convection. It looks pretty decent for what's left in the tropics right now. In my opinion, this may become our next system, or may not. But I believe it may become our next system if the conditions are marginable for development. So let's take a look at the color infrared loop I'm looking at right now. Let me describe to you what's going on. Okay, what we see going on here is the loop is showing that we have some activity, as I was mentioning. This activity is diminishing. The current thunderstorms activity is diminishing, but it's still there, and it's very elongated. It's a very elongated system, and this elongated system, which looks horrible at the moment, may not develop. And according to the National Hurricane Center, this is a tropical wave axis here, and this tropical wave here is our 05L, and it has it from around 5 north to 15 north and around 55 west to 45 west. So That area is what we're taking a look at very closely, and we expect that to move into the Caribbean Sea by mid next week, by Tuesday, if not the mid next week time zone. And current sea surface temperatures are at 30 degrees Celsius. And 30 degrees Celsius is beyond favorable conditions in terms of the sea surface temperature. So, if you're confused, 30 degrees Celsius is actually 86 degrees Fahrenheit. That is nearly 90-degree sea surface temperature. And on top of that, there is an anticyclone over it, which may help development. So, let's wrap this video up. We have this area of Invest MTWB, Invest 050, that would be updated shortly on our TTWO, which is not an experimental product. Has an anticyclone over it. Very favorable conditions in terms of sea surface temperature. Wind shear, hardly none, 10 to 20 knots, not very harsh. Things look favorable for the system to develop for the future. And the future looks a little bright for the system, but however, there's no tropical support in terms of the reliable computer models. The reliable computer models is showing this merely developing into something for at least 24 hours, and that's it. It shows it as a 1010 millibar low for at least 24 hours. First, it shows as a 1012 millibar low. Then it decreases it to a 1010. Probably we're talking about a tropical storm or no tropical depression. And then after 24 hours, it's already dead. That's what the GFS is showing, and that's one of the reliable computer models. So basically, and that's in the short term. So basically, we're not expecting to see any development from this in the short term. But in the long term, there may be a chance. Thank you. And remember to stay tuned to MTWB for further updates. Take a look at our homepage. And remember to subscribe to our blog posts. Thank you and have a great evening. MTWB is your place for tropical weather updates.